हेलो फ्रेंड्स। वेरी गुड इवनिंग। तो आज हम समझेंगे समथिंग अराउंड फाइनेंशियल jargons like terms like asset, the term like liability, cash flow. So क्या है ये exactly? What are these terms and इनका क्या मतलब है? Right? So let's try to understand the real meaning of all these financial jargons, and let's try to demystify these complex terms. Okay, so let me go to the first term which we hear a lot is called assets. Right? So what is an asset? क्या है एक asset? So technically there are two kinds of definition that are associated with the asset. Right? As per first definition, पहली definition ये है कि an asset is something which holds some intrinsic value. Right? कोई भी एक चीज जो which holds some value, which is a store of a value, is called an asset. For example, let's say gold is an asset, right? Uh, Gold is a store of a value. Technically speaking, car is an asset as per the first definition, which is anything that holds some intrinsic value. Even your furniture, that your house furniture is an asset, right? And probably maybe your fixed deposit or any financial deposit, shares, mutual funds. So technically all of these, they come under assets category. Then there is also a second definition of assets, which is anything that puts money into your pocket. So here comes the second dimension of what an assets, what is an asset. So anything that puts money into your pocket, कोई भी चीज जो कोई भी सामान, कोई भी entity which puts money into your pocket is called an asset. This can be, certainly car cannot be an asset according to this definition, right? Because it doesn't puts money into your pocket. It takes money from your pocket. Fixed deposit, yes, it's an asset. Uh, Gold, technically yes, because it does appreciates in its value. Obviously, shares, mutual funds, other such financial assets. But yeah, I mean things. But what differentiates the second definition from the first one is anything that depreciates in value. So technically, car holds, you know, any car holds some value at any given point of time, but it really depreciates. So by that means it's not an asset. So by this point, I hope it's clear that what is an asset, what is a real asset. So real asset is something which puts money into your pocket. Which generates some money for you, which appreciates in value over time. So that is something which is a real asset, and not an asset. Asset is not something which just have some intrinsic value, right? So I hope I've tried to make this point clear that what is an asset. So now let's go to the second term, which is called liabilities, right? So here also I think we can define liabilities by two definitions. The first thing is anything whose intrinsic value depreciates with time, right? Classic example is again your car, your bike, you know any automobile. So let's say I purchased a car for rupees 5 lakh today. So in next 6 months, its value will go down probably by 10 or 20%. In 5 years, it would be halved, and in 15 years it would be almost close to nothing. So by that means car is a liability. And the second definition is a bit more controversial, I would say. The second definition is that anything that takes money from your pocket. कोई भी ऐसी चीज जो पैसा हमारी जेब से निकालती है is called a liability. So as I said, this is a bit controversial in the way of how people see it. So one example is your house, right? So when we live in our house, and by the means that house which we haven't really given on rent, so we have to pay the maintenance from our pocket. We have to pay other kinds of fees, municipal taxes, and this that, right? So technically our house is not generating any income for us. It's taking money from our pocket. So by that means, technically a house is an asset, because yeah, it does appreciate. Real estate appreciates over time, but since we are not generating any income out of it, right? So it's if I talk about cash flow, it's taking money from our pocket. So in that way, it's a liability, right? So yeah, so I think so that's what liabilities are. Anything whose value really depreciates over time, and anything that really takes money from our pocket. Okay, so hope I was able to clear I was clear enough in explaining what in liabilities, what is in liability. The final term that is very important, and that is the bedrock of all financial transactions, is called cash flow. So it's a two word, cash and flow. So what is the cash flow? So it's in by pure definition, it's the aggregate of the money that flows in and out of the pocket, right? I think there is some spelling mistake. Do excuse me for that. And technically, cash flow can be both positive and negative. So let's understand what is cash flow positive. So if net more money is flowing into our pocket compared to the money that's flowing out, that's that scenario is will be called as cash flow positive. And of course, vice versa, if more money is flowing out of our pocket versus the money that is flowing in our pocket, so that will be called as being cash flow negative. So so to be rich, to be wealthy in long term, we have to be always cash positive, cash flow positive. I mean, more money should come to us than the money that being flown out of our pockets. So that's it from my side. So hope you like the video, and if you really like the video, do hit the subscribe button. So we will be getting more such videos around financial education, in coming days. So thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.